Hey cats, it's Ed, Taper Week Bud here. Over the last few months, one of my favourite shoes has been the behemoth of cushion offered in the Adidas Adizero PRIMEX. How has it held up over 100 miles? Let's find out. Welcome back to the channel, guys, or if it's your first time here, where have you been? Help us out by hitting that subscribe button and also clicking the bell below for notifications when we launch those new videos for you. Help get the channel out to more people as well by giving this video a thumbs up like and also sharing the video with your running buddies. Thanking you, Tar. So bang on 100 miles or 161 kilometers now in the PRIMEX from Adidas, across speeds from anywhere between 8 minutes 15 seconds per mile for those easier runs, or faster pace, tempo or threshold efforts at around about 6 minutes 45 seconds per mile. My pair weigh in at about 304 grams, so that's about 10.7 ounces for my UK size 11. I have already reported this, but there's a 56mm stack height in the heel in my pair and about 46mm in the forefoot. I did purchase these with my own earth credits, just for the purpose of declaration. As always with my reviews, we'll start with the upper first. Upper-wise, it's a real beaut. Yes, it is somewhat unconventional. I really do love the very refined mesh that we've got here, and there is an exceptional lockdown, which is really important when you consider the other elements of the shoe. Certainly the very weird tongue structure in the upper of the shoe takes a little bit of getting used to. It's certainly a break from the norm, and some people might find it a little bit too far. It might cross the line for them. I found lace pressure across the top of the foot to be non-existent, really. There's certain little design elements of this shoe that really do set it apart from the rest. Those small details just create a fantastic upper lockdown. In fact, I find this shoe a real pleasure to put my foot into from a comfort perspective. Absolutely true to size for me, no need to size up. There's absolutely no wear or tear whatsoever on the upper of the PRIMEX, despite having used it in some quite wet and testing conditions. It's taken on a little bit of dirt and grime, but what do you expect? It's a running shoe. That's kind of its whole purpose in life. It wasn't designed to sit in some glass case, was it? Come on. I found no issue with the lack of a conventional heel collar here in the PRIMEX, and I think the upper actually would facilitate the use of this shoe within a full marathon if the other aspects of the shoe work for you. I can't really fault the upper here over 100 miles. It's been one of the most fitting and comfortable that I've tested out over the last few years. I'm going to give it a 2.9 out of 3 after 100 miles for the upper. I mean, this shoe isn't going to be for everybody. I've got to make that very, very clear. Some people are going to want a more plush upper, more padding here and there, but for me, it just works. Certainly a triumph when used on my foot.
Midsole now.
Midsole wise, the PRIMEX just gets better and better the more and more miles you put into it. Light Strike Pro seems to be like that. The more and more you use it, it just frees up a little bit more. There's a bit more give, a little bit more squash and a bit more bounce. Again, it's one of those shoes that just need some tenderizing. The midsole sections of the shoe have got a little bit more give now. There's more bounce than even when I first took it out of the box, and they do absolutely reduce the amount of effort that you've got to put into your runs. Now, that may actually enrage or excite you as a runner. Some people might be totally put off by that and they want to put hard effort in and get maybe medium results. I'm kidding, of course, you know. Some people might like this shoe, other people are going to run for the hills. The combination of foams, the carbon blades, the plates and those energy rods really does produce a very cushioned, very compressive yet propulsive feel here in the PRIMEX. It's a great ride, especially if you're going to use it for some longer runs. Just saves the muscle somewhat, keeps you really fresh, but also provides some amazing toe off, certainly at speed. In terms of the actual midsole foam here and the combination of technologies, there is nothing like it on the market right now. Not that I can think of anyway. I mean, not even the Alphafly has this level of forgiving feel underfoot, especially when you're going up through the gears. The Alphafly, I think, might feel a little bit aggressive to some people, perhaps even firm, I suppose, in the forefoot with those AirPods. Not here in the PRIMEX. It's a squash fest and it feels great. I say it's a squash fest, it never felt unstable to me, not on any of the miles really. As long as you're on some even camber, you're good to go. As I said earlier, Light Strike Pro absolutely improves over time. That is evidenced in some of the other reviews for Adidas shoes that I've tested out recently, namely the Adios Pro 2 and the Takumi Sen 8. The PRIMEX is no different And once you get over the psychological skyscraper here, the foam stack isn't really all that weird or obtuse. Yes, sacrifices have to be made. You can't just run carefree round corners or bends. If you're going to do a quick double back, watch your ankles. That's going to land you on your rear if you don't pay a little bit of attention, so you have been warned. Absolutely ideal for long, straight runs on the road. I did actually find it especially assistive while going up hills. That was the same really in the Adidas Pro 2. Something to do with those energy rods. Just seems to work really well when you're climbing up some sort of hill. There's a couple of people out there that have reviewed this shoe and suggested that it actually put loads of strain on their ankles. They couldn't run past like 7 miles in it or something. I think it's a bit of a red herring. I haven't felt that at all in this shoe. In fact, it's left my ankles feeling great. Maybe my form is better than some of those internet trolls suggest. Not that I ever listen to them, and you shouldn't either. If someone has a go at you about your running, you know what to do. Hit that block button. It ain't worth it. If putting on your running shoes puts a smile on your face and it gets you out there, good for you. I think few world athletics elite athletes are going to be watching this video. Obviously you will know this shoe is illegal for them to wear in some sort of championship race, and for everyone else it's a very viable road option for the half or full marathon. I think if your form is up to scratch and you've got no major bends or corners to worry about, give it a go, why not? The midsole here has improved like no other shoe I've tested over 100 miles. As such, I'm going to give it a 2.9 out of 3 for the midsole. Outsole now, and there's quite a lot of it, to be honest. Zero wear on the rubber, absolutely nothing. One of the absolute best shoes I've tested out for grip and traction over the last couple of years. It's just immense. The multi-directional rubber pattern on the mid to forefoot of the outsole, absolutely urge you to hit that part of the shoe. Really does promote that forefoot to midfoot landing, and that really works with the other elements of the shoe as well. In pretty much any weather, on most terrains and surfaces, this is a really well executed design from Adidas. Takes all the best bits from the current Adidas top line running shoes and puts them into a best of, like a greatest hits. Hard to fault really around the 100-mile mark. There's no wear whatsoever. There's a tiny bit of exposed midsole discoloration, I suppose, here, but it's nothing to worry about. If you're hesitating about picking this shoe up, in terms of outsole, it's an absolute winner. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 3. Value now. So value is the last element today, and this shoe just gets better and better the more you wear it. Usable for easy sessions, long runs, or harder efforts. Perhaps not ideal for off-road use, but why would you buy this shoe for that anyway? This doesn't have the stack height for off-road use. Just don't even think about it. I've gotten this shoe to work for me for all sorts of different training, and it's been a staple really. Every time I've used it, I've come back smiling. That says a lot. Yes, it is a very expensive shoe. I guess it's a hell of a lot cheaper than the Alpha Fly, and you can use it for more. But let's not forget, a lot of the Nike shoes deteriorate in terms of performance over time. This one's just getting better and better. No wear on the outsole or any of the shoe, really. The midsole's just on the up, a super comfortable upper. So I'm going to increase the value score from my initial review. I'm going to bring it up to a 2.7 out of 3. I think you'll get your money's worth out of the PRIMEX. Very usable if you've got some good form and some nice flat roads. What a shoe, and to think I almost didn't pick it up. So if I've totted the scores up correctly, that gives us 11.5 out of 12 after 100 miles for the Adidas Adizero PRIMEX. There's quite a few viewers that have picked this one up. Certainly after my initial review and my long run review, are you still enjoying it as much as me? Let me know your thoughts and opinions as usual, guys, down in the comments. It's musical interlude time. Today we've got Edwyn Collins with Gorgeous George. There's so many great songs on this album, guys. Edwyn Collins, a fantastic songwriter. I really like the campaign for real rock and roll. It sounds like a protest song almost, about how there's all these mock rock and roll bands. There's no sort of subtlety, sincerity about any of the music. It's just sort of like a throwaway money grab almost. That's not what we're into. I really like the acoustic track North of Heaven. Sounds really woody, very real. Perhaps just Edwyn picked up the guitar and it's like one of a few takes of the track that he did. Just sounds like he means it as well when he sings. There's a lot of vocalists that you just don't believe them. The same can be said about the track Low Expectations. Again, it's just really simple A very minimal number of instruments there. It all just works together. Edwin's voice being the key factor. And of course you got the classic Edwin track, A Girl Like You, which everybody knows, no matter where you come from. I can't believe it was released in 1994. What a brilliant album. Still is today, it sounds fantastic. Edwin Collins with Gorgeous George. Okay, it's time for me to rock and roll out of here and do some more resting. So that's really important this week. Tape a week. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and click the bell below for notifications when we launch those new videos for you. Also give this video a thumbs up, like, and share it with your running buddies. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you